My name is Dr. Isaac Rodriguez. I am the CEO and Chief Science Officer and a co-founder of Sweet Bio. So Sweet Bio, we're a dental company in the biotech space, and we're revolutionizing healing starting in dentistry. So what we do is we use honey as an ingredient to help your gums heal up after a dental procedure. And we created a biodegradable membrane that I actually created here at the University of Memphis. And going through the FDA, raise money, and our goal is to sell to surgeons and dentists so they can help your gums heal after a tooth is pulled. Yeah, I think the first foundation was the education that I had, my background. So I did my bachelor's, my master's, and my PhD all in biomedical engineering. So once I decided I wanted to launch my business, I had my credentials, and really it was about what I knew, and I can talk the talk, and then that helped me build my reputation as an entrepreneur. I think just the growing up with my family culture, minorities, they typically have larger families and the barbecues and everything, but just that family-oriented culture, I was able to really grow up with that. And then as I became a leader, I treated my team as my family as well, and we just had this team culture that we always assume positive intent, and we assume that all of our co-founders and all of our team members are never trying to hurt us or the company. And let's just say we get into an argument, we don't mean bad on each other, it's just we want the best for each other and we want the best for the company. So I think that culture of just being family oriented and knowing that the people that are closest to you want what's best for you, we translated that to our business, and that helped the team dynamic for us to move forward. I think the hard work came in high school and in college. And then now, as I said before, with my degree, I proved myself in a sense to get to this point. But yeah, I did have to work harder. I had to get good grades in school and do well on my SATs, and that afforded me the opportunity to get the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship. So because I worked really hard, I was able to get that scholarship. But now here, as an executive in a company, we see more of, an age discrimination than we do more of a minority racial discrimination. In the field that's medical, it's dominated by mainly older people. So when we go on stage and talk about our company, a lot of people don't take us as serious when they first see us on stage because we're a young face. So we do have to prove ourselves every day that although we look young, we have the skills, we have the degrees, and we have the passion, and we're the team that's going to make it happen. Yeah, hardships, being away from family was a hardship because we moved I was born and raised in Virginia, but all my family was spread out across the country, nobody within 5 hours of me. So I think just being a family-oriented person, not being with family was tough. I think that'd be the first part. The second part is my parents went through a lot of hardships, and my grandparents went through. My grandmother came to the States with $6 in her pocket. And my dad was born on a hardwood floor in the middle of Puerto Rico and now is one of the top 50 most influential leaders in the world. So I have positive role models that have went through those hardships, and they wanted to make sure that my life was 10 times better than theirs growing up. And that's the same thing I want to do for the next generation. So I learned through their stories, I learned through their mistakes, and they were my role models growing up to help me get through any hardships and kind of get me around those roadblocks even before I was there. So I figured I was fortunate to do that, and that's the best thing that I can do, as a person outside of my normal day-to-day job, is just to continue to give back and make sure that the people that come after me have a road paved or just the opportunity to do what I could do today. Yeah, I didn't even see myself in entrepreneurship 2 years ago, so that's a really entertaining question. I spent all my years in science and in academics, and then now I'm in entrepreneurship. I love entrepreneurship, so I could see myself maybe once, hopefully Sweet Bio is successful and maybe we get acquired by a bigger company or we just grow it to a point where it has a life of its own. I could see myself running the company, I could see myself doing more science, but I love the science part and I want to stay true to my passion. So I'm liking entrepreneurships and I'm loving science. So I still want to be in both, whether it's starting up a new company after Sweet Bio, or maybe going back to university and teaching entrepreneurship to science students, for example. I could see myself also working for maybe a larger company directing lab projects and research. So I think even though I spent most of my years in science, I had this unique skill of business, and I want to find a way to keep those both in my life moving forward. Always networking, that's number one. It's going to events, meeting people, because we find that the more people we meet, they're like, oh, I love your story, let me introduce you to somebody else. And then they introduce me to somebody else. So that's one of the things that you can get outside of school, is just be involved with local entrepreneurship events, be involved at demo days, go out and make yourself visible. Because when you become visible, they see you, you're the go-to person, you become credible, and you bring all those experiences with you. On top of that, get experience outside of your normal day-to-day job. So I studied biomedical engineering as an undergraduate in UVA, but I was also the president of Taekwondo Club. Like, that has nothing to do with what I do today, but it taught me how to be a leader, how to be comfortable in front of people and teaching and things like that. So I feel like any experience you can get outside of your normal day-to-day job makes you uncomfortable. And you know, my sister and I say this all the time, and the more uncomfortable you are, the more you grow. So try to make yourself uncomfortable, put yourself in those positions to where you're forcing yourself to grow outside of what you would normally do.